Bob Iger retired, but they picked the wrong guy to replace him with Bob Chapek, who immediately diverted in philosophy and everything and pretty much almost destroyed Disney to the point that they had to fire his ass real quick and Bob Iger had to step back in to re-steady the ship. We've known for a while now that he was going to step down by the end of 2026 again, and they needed to find a new person. Well, after all the speculation, after all the candidates, it is now done. Disney does not yet have a new CEO, but they have selected their next CEO. And that CEO, according to Deadline, is Josh D'Amaro?
Tomorrow.
D'Amaro, CEO, and Dana Walden, who was also in the running for the CEO job, gets the runner-up prize as she is now the new president of Disney and the chief creative officer. Now, she had been kind of the co-executive running the entertainment brands with Alan Bergman, and now Alan Bergman's going to be reporting to her.
Their looks, Maxon. Check that out.
Yep, there's the new power
Mogging.
over at Disney. That's it. The folks at Deadline wrote the following. Disney Experiences chairman Josh D'Amaro has been elevated to CEO of the Walt Disney Company, capping a closely watched multi-year process of identifying Bob Iger's successor. Dana Walden, Disney Entertainment co-chairman, has been named the new president and chief creative officer of a newly created role. Disney's board of directors voted unanimously on the moves, which were announced on Tuesday, and it will take effect at the company's annual meeting on March 18th. So a little over a month from now, he'll become the new CEO. The board also intends to add D'Amaro to the board at the meeting. Dana Walden will report directly to D'Amaro. Iger is staying on as the senior advisor until the end of his current contract at the end of the year, surrendering the CEO title on March 18th. So, on March 18th, Disney will have a new CEO. He's been selected now. The Dana Walden elevation, I think, is also very interesting because that's really more to do with our area of interest, which is more the movies and entertainment thing. And she's got a very good track record. Dana Walden has a great track record. She worked very closely with the previous heads of entertainment there. She also had a history at Fox, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And the fact that she did get really close. Now, as a matter of fact, the article goes on to explain that the board actually contemplated making D'Amaro and Walden co-CEOs, which has kind of been all the rage lately in corporate entertainment, naming not one CEO, but co-CEOs. But they opted to go the more traditional route. They went with D'Amaro and they elevated Walden at the same time. This is the kind of pick on paper that looks right. Disney's just too big of a beast. I don't really think you can go outside of the company and bring somebody new in who has to learn Disney. I mean, D'Amaro's been at Disney for decades. He was just the head of their park experiences. Some people love him. Some people don't for what he did with parks. You know my overall philosophy about Disney parks. Fuck Disneyland.
To me, they made it inaccessible.
Yeah, I mean, they have, and yet every time Ann Drags is there, that place is shoulder to shoulder packed with people, man.
Yeah.
Every time I go. I don't know why. I hate that place, but whatever. Screw Disney. But the fact of the matter is he brought a lot of stability to that branch of their business, particularly coming out of the pandemic. And he's just a guy who knows the company, but most importantly, he's worked with Iger, and Iger and the board feel comfortable that unlike what Chapek did, which was totally to make a U-turn on their philosophies, he's going to carry on Bob Iger's philosophies and bring his own identity to it as well. And don't worry about, as movie fans, that he doesn't have a movie background. The movies is just one part of Disney's business. That's why they elevated Dana Walden. And you're still going to have Bergman there. Bergman is still staying there in his role. He was also one of the candidates for the CEO role, but he wasn't one of the finalists. But he's going to be staying there, still running everything. Guys like Kevin Feige are going to still be reporting to Bergman. Bergman will now be reporting to Walden. So it looks like they're keeping some continuity in there. This looks like on paper, Rob, like it is going to be a smoother transition, a better transition than what they had with Chapek. But then again, on paper, the Chapek hire looked good too. And it wasn't until he took power that we realized he had some pretty screwy ideas that nearly ruined everything. But I think they feel they took years to go through this. They vetted everything very carefully. Iger seems very happy with it. The chairman of the board seems very happy with it. So I think this was probably the right move for them to do right now. Now we just got to wait and see if it works out like it did with Iger, or if it doesn't work out like it did with Chapek. Rob, you saw the announcement here this morning. What do you feel about the new leadership over at Disney?
I think it looks good. I mean, like you said, I think they've taken time to do this, and I think they've probably charted a course. They know where they want to go, and they're going to implement that. And like you said, it doesn't even take effect till March, and Iger's going to be there until December, until his contract runs out. So I think the transition will be smooth, and I think we'll wait and see. I'd have to see how they perform and how it works out, and how is it going to affect the entertainment that they make. But I think for the most part, it looks pretty safe. Like it's not going to rock the boat.
What about the Dana Walden move?
Well, I think, you know what? I think you split up responsibilities. And I mean, it's not like she's coming out from the outsides from somewhere and coming in and she's never been at Disney before. I mean, I think it's stable. And that's what you want.
What it does is it adds a stopgap, because he will probably work out fine. That's not the point. But if he doesn't work out, you have a stopgap on creative.
Yes.
So it can keep running until they can find a new, rudder.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing with Disney was a lot of people, and of course, this is the thing. We movie fans, we think of Disney, we think of them as a movie company. That is not the lion's share of their business. The big pieces of Disney's business is not their movie industry. It's their parks and experiences. Parks and experiences is their biggest. They actually just made a $60 billion commitment to upgrading their cruises and all that kind of stuff. They're not spending $60 billion on Marvel movies.
Nope.
So they brought in a guy to run the whole company and to make sure that the entertainment stuff goes well. They also elevated Dana Walden. And I think in theory, that looks like the right move. Look, the key is always to bring in somebody who knows how to have the right generals with them, who knows how to have the right lieutenants working with them. And if he can set that up and entertainment continue around, and you keep Bergman in the position that he's in right now, I don't think we're going to even notice a hiccup, honestly. On the movie side, I don't think we're going to notice a hiccup.
Nope.
I think this will all be good. But again, we had a lot of optimism when Chapek got hired too, and we'll see how that goes. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Well, the big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. With the football season coming to a close, this is your last chance to jump into football action before next year, and PrizePicks is making it easy by giving you $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. What I've always loved about PrizePicks is how simple it is. You're just picking more or less on player projections, building your lineup, and rooting at home while you watch the game. I also really like their early payouts feature. If a player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game even ends. And with the new social feed, you can follow other players, copy lineups that you like, or use them as inspiration for your own. So don't miss out. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code Campea to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Campea to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, as of today and for the next about 6 weeks or so, Bob Iger is still the CEO, but they've now picked his successor. He's going to stay on until the end of the year as a senior advisor, and then finally get around to that retirement that he wanted to start enjoying a couple of years ago.
Hang out with Alan Horn.
Hang out. Him and Alan Horn can hang out together again. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.